Here I'm at the lower orchard. This is the O. Henry peach. And if you look here, buds, love the buds. This thing is gonna get hundreds and hundreds of fruit on it. I'm really excited. Look at that bud. Buds, more buds. They're almost about to burst. Let's see, there you go. Yeah, more buds. So O. Henry's doing great. There's the red globe. All of these buds, look at those. Phenomenal, yes. Grow, grow, grow. Want to have them, eat them, consume them. I'm gonna have to do a lot of thinning because there's hundreds on these. And here's the Babcock peach. This one is really going at it. It's about to pop here.
Just to clarify, the fruiting bud is spherical in shape and the leaf bud is flat. It stays closer to the bark of the tree. Most fruit trees follow the same type of consistency, as you'll see with all of the fruit trees that I have in my orchard. There are a few exceptions, which I will mention here.
All of these buds, it's awesome. And then we have the Asian pear right here. And these are the parts that tend to swell up and burst out with tons of flowers. So if it has like this little pom-pom looking shape on it, then that's where the fruit comes out, kind of like an apple tree. Some apple varieties here, little pom-pom shape. Those are gonna grow fruit out of there. I get like 5 per pom-pom. It's crazy how much fruit this thing's gonna put on. So that's the Asian pear. The Santa Rosa plum. So this is its second year. It's huge. It's about 12 feet tall. In the summer, I'm gonna prune it down, but here on the ends, look, we got some fruit. Got some buds here. More buds that are here in the center. And nothing on this limb here, but one is right there. That'll be good. So I should be getting, I don't know, maybe 50 fruit on this one, on the Santa Rosa plum. All the way at the top, you can see there are lots of little buds that are coming down here. Let's see if we can bring it down. And if it'll focus, we'll have some on that. But I'm going to remove some of these limbs and do some grafting here soon as we break dormancy. Now this is the Fuji Apple. Didn't get any fruit on it last year. I'm gonna graft 4 different varieties onto this tree. It has been having a hard time and it just gets sunburned, and look at all this damage that's going on here. It gets sunburned, and borers love to eat this thing. So I'm gonna cut, that's why I let new growth coming out here. I'm gonna cut some of these things off and graft new varieties to it so I can get cross-pollination. I figure I love apples, but not as much as some of this other fruit. And so I'm just gonna let it do its job. Here's the Utah pomegranate.
I walk past the pomegranate bush because it's hard to tell where it's going to fruit or if it is going to fruit. I just wait until the springtime when it starts to flower.
It's growing good. And here's my 4-in-1. One of the varieties right down here totally died. So I cropped it off and I might have some growth down here. Maybe, we will see. But I'm training some of these branches. That's why I have this metal hook here. I want this to come down. I don't know which variety is which. They weren't labeled, but look at that. Fruit budding, fruit budding. Yes, gonna get some fruit this year. All of these fruit budding coming across there, fruit buds there. So one of them's a Dapple Dandy, Flavor Supreme, Flavor Queen, and Flavor King. This is the Toka Plum. Look at these little bundles. Focus. Focus. Let's see if I get a different view. These bundles just popped up a couple of weeks ago. You can see how they're spreading out. So I don't know if this is actually how this plum tree ripens fruit. If you know, please let me know. I'm assuming those are fruiting buds, because there are other ones that are like this that look like they're just a green growth. it's gonna start. Apricot is the Tilton Apircot. It's okay, but man, look at all of these. I mean, tons and tons of fruit that's gonna be grown on that. And if we come over here, this is the Flavor Grenade. I've been training this bush to angle down. Fruit buds, focus. There we go. More fruit buds. It's about to burst. Look at that. Man, it's so good. And then all the way at the top here, also more bursting fruit. And this is the awesome jujube. Pruned it down, have a video on that. I'll link here is the Moorpark Apricot. I'm gonna graft another variety of apricot here, just because I like apricots, but I wanna try different varieties. I wanna know what works really good. But man, look at how much fruit is gonna grow on this thing. Mostly because all the fruit died last year with my apricots. I'm gonna get a lot of fruit growing this year. And here are my 2 cherry trees, the Stella right here and the Bing. No fruit on these 2 guys, they need to grow more. The Surh Anor pomegranate right there, and the wonderful pomegranate. Prune that guy down a little bit. Now this is the Plumcot, and on the Plumcot, you can see there's little areas that have started to bud. And so all these little shoots that come off the sides of this wood here, those are going to be fruit bearing for the Plumcot. I'm also going to graft multiple varieties to this Plumcot because I don't know if I love this variety or not, but I want to give a try with some other varieties and see what I like and what I don't like. This is the Rose Nectarine. Look at those buds. I mean, some of these buds look like they're going to flower here in the next week or 2. Okay, good stuff. And Flavor Queen, Flavor King, Flavor Supreme I just planted a couple weeks ago, and a persimmon. And then we have another persimmon here and another persimmon there, and then 3 more persimmons there that I'm going to be grafting, so stay tuned on those. This is the Lapins Cherry, and it does look like I might get some fruit right here. See those? These bundles. When it has a bundle like that, that is usually an indicator that it's going to fruit there. These other little spurs that are coming off, that is, my understanding is green growth that's gonna happen. So I might get some fruit on here, but I am gonna graft a Utah Giant on this Lapins and see what I can get. I might try to do a chip bud graft down here to have it come out, or I might just cut off one of these limbs and try growing a Utah Sweet. Pineapple guavas, they're still alive, thank goodness. I mean, it's been a cold winter and they're not looking so hot, but I'm thinking that they'll survive. Here I am in the upper orchard. Going across here, I have cleared out some of the hillside. Hopefully the wind isn't too much. Cleared out some of this hillside and planted some more muscadines and other fruit trees. But what I want to show you is the growth after first year. So this is first year, all of these sitting on top of this hill. And we're gonna see how much fruit they produce. Now, I know that people have said, if your tree is producing fruit, pick it off for the first couple of years so that it can get good root establishment and good growth. But I don't want these to grow really big. Currently, this Aprium is 7 feet tall, and that's in 1 year. So I want fruit to grow on this to kind of keep them at a smaller size, because the growth that doesn't go into fruit goes into growing the tree. And I don't want these trees to grow much bigger than they currently are. So let's take a look and see what these Apriums look like. Look at that bud development. Holy guacamole. That means each one of these, if I could get it to focus, there we go. Each one of these is gonna flower. If I go on each one of these limbs, look at that. All of those buds. This is the Flavor Delight Aprium. I have hundreds and hundreds of these. So if they do fruit and I don't get a late freeze like I did last year, then we should get hundreds of fruit. And this is just on first year growth. Maybe I'll put a link in the video of when I planted these, but they were about 2.5 feet tall and now it's 7 feet tall. So really good growth on this Aprium. If we go to the cotton candy Aprium, look at that. Come on, focus. There we go. All of this, the cotton candy Aprium is budding really, really well. Here we are, the end of February, beginning of March. They're about to flower out. So there's two Apriums right next to each other, here and here, cotton candy, flavor delight. And the cotton candy, I think, is on a dwarf rootstock, but because it only got to about 5 feet, but it has good development. So gonna get some Apriums this year, which I'm really excited about. And then we go over to Candy Heart. This is a Pluerry. Look at those buds. Hot diggity. What? Yeah, each one of those is going to be fruiting. Now, if you don't know on an Aprium, on a Pluerry, if it is going to fruit or not, let me see if I can find a branch that does not have... okay, so here's a good example. This one, not going to fruit. You can see there's just little parts that are coming off the edges, no real flower buds. But if we look at this one, all of these nodules here, those are fruiting buds. So I'm gonna get fruit on like every nodule. I'm gonna have to do a lot of thinning. Look at that. Man, I'm so excited. So Candy Heart, Pluerry. Then we have here the Sweet Treat. Sweet Treat, not as much growth. You can see along here, a lot of growth, but not budding. So not much budding going on. Every once in a while, I will find a bud. So there is a bud right there, if you can see it. There's a bud. But along the rest of the branch, no bud. There are a couple of buds right there. So I might get 50 pieces of fruit on this one, the Sweet Treat Pluerry. I don't know if it's just I didn't get enough of a freezing temperature or chill hours, or if it just likes to not produce as much fruit, but that's why I'm trying all these different Pluerries to see what's going on. All right, now let's go to the next Pluerry. This one is the Flavor Punch Pluerry. And I'm gonna train this branch to come down a little bit. Gotta wait until I get some more trainers to come down, but look at the Flavor Punch. Yeah. Look at those, man alive. Gonna get a lot of flavor punches going on here. All these fruit buds, so flowering buds. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. All right, that's it for the Pluerries and Apriums. Now let's move on to the peaches that I have up here. Peaches, this one is the Flat Wonderful. And I have a couple of buds on the Flat Wonderful. Let's see if I can find them. This does not have any buds on it. You can see it's pretty straightforward. Not much new growth. I know I have some on here. All right, Flat Wonderful. Here are a couple. There are a couple of buds right there. There are a couple over here also. But not very many on the Flat Wonderful. And again, I know I'm on the edge of not having enough chill hours. This one I think requires 700 or 800 chill hours. And I'm pretty sure we get about 600 here, but in St. George, Utah. Let's go to the Indian Free Peach. This is another one, but look at these buds here. Nice, Indian Free. There's some more buds. So I have some buds on here, not a ton. Not like the Pluerries. That's okay. I have like 5 peach trees, so I don't need to have a lot. But Indian Free, gonna have about 20 pieces of fruit. And then we go over to the Spice Zee Nectaplum. That's this one. Look at these buds. Yeah, right there. Bud, bud, bud. This is just green growth that's going to occur if I could. This is gonna be green growth. then these are just the fruiting buds. So I won't have a lot of the spicy Nectaplum, but I will get 20 or 30. This has a bunch of buds on them. This is a pawpaw, Susquehanna, and this is the Avatar pawpaw. Nothing on those guys. I just need to make sure that they're growing. Right now they're in survival mode. This is the Parfianka pomegranate and the Eversweet pomegranate. Look at the size of this thing. He's about 4 or 5 feet tall. Lots of really good growth. Expecting to have some pomegranates there. I might not let any pomegranates grow on this just so I can get up to size and catch up to the Eversweet. And then we have the Persimmons. It's starting to get windy. Sorry if you can't hear me. But Persimmons, look at that. Now, each one of these is not going to create a piece of fruit. I am not exactly sure how or what the bud looks like, the fruiting bud for a persimmon, because this is my first time growing them here. But I'm really excited for this one. This is the Raven Persimmon, really tall, and the Izu Persimmon. Izu is looking good. It got fruit last year. Down here you can see the little stems that came off. But I have, it looks like buds that are sitting right there. Maybe, I'm not sure. We'll see. So I'm wanting to make this video to show where all the buds are located and then to see if I'm gonna get any fruit on those buds. That's the main purpose. Muscadines. This is the Sweet Jenny muscadine, and it has grown all the way up here. This year, it's gonna grow down to the end, and I'm gonna train it to grow all the way to the green post there. So once it's gotten to that part, then I can prune it to be able to fruit out. But I cleared off all of the stems and growth that was on the trunk area here and cleared it off so that I can get growth going down. And then we have the Goumis. Look at the Goumi bush. Holy guacamole. Okay, each one of these guys, oh, if I can focus, there we go. Each one of these, fruit, yes. So I'm talking about with the Goumi. Gonna have some Goumis this year. So excited for the Goumi bush. This one's the Tillamook Goumi. Then this is the Sweet Scarlet Goumi. You can see that the difference in the color of the wood, but also the budding on it. Look, this is new growth. This is gonna start to sprout here soon. We've had 60 degrees consistently during the month of February. It's gonna hit freezing temperatures again here this next week, and the highest temperature will be 43. So it might add a little bit more chill. Hopefully these don't pop before that. It doesn't look like they will, but you can see all of these buds that are growing on here. That's a really good sign. This was last year's growth. This was the year before growth. Last year's growth is doing pretty good. It's a darker colored for the Tillamook Goumi. Another muscadine is the Hall muscadine. Almost got up to the wire. Have a ways to go. And then I planted a couple of currants. So Prima currant here and a Prima currant here. That's this year growth. And then we have another muscadine. This is the Sugar Gate muscadine. Came up, almost made it, but that's okay this year. I'll train it to go either side. And then this year I planted this other muscadine. I'm trying to remember the variety of this muscadine, but I just planted it this last week with a Blue X shield, which I highly recommend. It's up to here, need to train it to go up again and across. So that's the whole upper level, except for the 2 mulberries that are sitting in the back. I have a Pakistani mulberry, which I'm really excited about, and also the world's greatest mulberry. And I'm gonna graft a couple of mulberry scions to them to see if I can get some more growth. This video is just to show buds and what they look like with different varieties, and to determine what fruit you're actually gonna get, if you are gonna get any fruit. Like almost this whole limb is not gonna have any fruit on it, except for there and there, which makes it easy for me to thin out. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you liked or didn't like, or if you have any thoughts, like why would you grow that there? And I don't know. We will see what happens. All right, have a stellar day.